Welcome. Today is the start of the book of Exodus. The word Exodus means departure or exit. The book of Exodus was written between 1440 and 1400 BC. The book, to summarize it, is about a deliverer, and just as Jesus Christ is our deliverer. So, welcome to the Heights Christian Church YouTube channel. Please share, subscribe, pound the like button, hit the bell for notifications, and you'll receive a video just like this one when it pops up. So, my name is Trinidad Gerardo. I am a member of Heights Christian Church. We're going through the entire Bible in a 5-year time. So please join us as we read during the week. So let's read and start off with the first chapter of Exodus. So these are the names of the sons of Israel who came to Egypt with Jacob, each with his household: Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah; Issachar, Zebulun, Benjamin, Dan, Naphtali, Gad, and Asher. All the descendants of Jacob were 70 persons. Joseph was already in Egypt. Then Joseph died, and all his brothers, and all that generation. But the people of Israel were fruitful and increased greatly. They multiplied and grew exceedingly strong, so that the land was filled with them. Now there arose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph, and he said to his people, "Behold, the people of Israel are too many and too mighty for us. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, lest they multiply, and if war breaks out, they join our enemies and fight against us and escape from the land." Therefore they set taskmasters over them to afflict them with heavy burdens. They built for Pharaoh store cities, Pithom and Ramesses. But the more they were oppressed, the more they multiplied and the more they spread abroad. And the Egyptians were in dread of the people of Israel, and they ruthlessly made the people of Israel work as slaves, and made their lives bitter with hard service and mortar and brick, and in all kinds of work in the field. In all their work they ruthlessly made them work as slaves. Then the king of Egypt said to the Hebrew midwives, one of whom was named Shiphrah and the other Puah, "When you serve as midwife to the Hebrew women and see them on the birth stool, if it is a son, you shall kill him. But if it is a daughter, she shall live." But the midwives feared God and did not do as the king of Egypt commanded them, but let the male children live. So the king of Egypt called the midwives and said to them, "Why have you done this? Let the male children live." The midwives said to Pharaoh, "Because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women, for they are vigorous and give birth before the midwife comes to them." So God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and grew very strong. And because the midwives feared God, he gave them families. Then Pharaoh commanded all his people, "Every son that is born to the Hebrews you shall cast into the Nile, but shall let every daughter live." We see here there are similarities in the birth of the Hebrew male children and the male children in the time of Jesus' birth. So let's read from Matthew 2, starting in verse 13. "Now when they had departed, behold, an angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream and said, 'Rise, take the child and his mother and flee to Egypt and remain there until I tell you, for Herod is about to search for the child to destroy him.' And he rose and took the child and his mother by night and departed to Egypt and remained there until the death of Herod. This was to fulfill what the Lord had spoken by the prophet, 'Out of Egypt I called my son.' Then Herod, when he saw that had been tricked by the wise men, became furious, and he sent and killed all the male children in Bethlehem and in all that region who were 2 years old and under, according to that time that he had discerned from the wise men." Wow. Does that sound familiar? So I wonder how these two instances can be so similar. So we see God's divine providence working here. We see God working in every details of those lives he has saved, that he has called for his glory. The Hebrew midwives that Joseph, the Hebrew midwives that disobeyed Pharaoh to save the children. The angel of the Lord that told Joseph to take his wife and child and flee to where? To Egypt. You see, God is working. He works in the very fabric of our lives. I'm talking about the very details that we see and we don't see. So the Hebrew midwives, Joseph, the angel of the Lord, were obedient to God and they trusted God. They trusted God with the very details of their lives, which we all should as well. So we know life can be hard, and we know the life we are living right now can be extremely difficult. We see all kinds of things happening in this world that we don't like. My wife, Sherry-Ann, all of you know her, likes to say it's just the season. God will get us past this, and he will. She is a very wise woman. But trust that God is working in the details of your life right now. He will never leave you nor forsake you. And Jesus says in John 16:33, I have said these things to you, that in me you have peace. In the world you will have tribulation, but take heart, I have overcome the world. So, brothers and sisters, I just want to say this. Trust in Jesus. He can deliver you from anything. So remember to live for Jesus and to live as the example of Jesus. So I love you all. God bless, and we'll see you next time.